wife and I moved here 18 years ago. We looked for a town that had a good school district, had a good community, and Tuscola fit that bill. The building was 60 years old, a great building, one of the best in its area, but it hadn't been touched since it was built, and it showed its age, and I felt sorry for the kids. I recall the first time we did a board breakfast to honor some of the kids. All of the appliances, the countertops were just filthy. In the science room, the sinks were corroded, stained. It was embarrassing. There were old ceiling tiles that were metal, that were all rusted or falling. So it was depressing to walk through.
Grew up here and went to school here. My father graduated from here. This building, the high school building, my daughter, when she walked across the street from East Prairie Middle School to Tuscola High School, one of the first things I did was I apologized to her. But it looked like the same building that my father graduated from in '69, the same building I graduated from in 1989. It felt like a prison every time I walked in here. And I think that we needed to get with the times. We, as a school board, started the process of putting a list together of what we needed to do. That process became very like standing in quicksand. We quickly realized, hey, we need some help with this. We need to bring in somebody who has experience doing this. So that is when we started talking with Omni Energy Partners and started realizing they had the expertise to really bring this project along. And the feeling we got from them from the beginning was this was going to be a partnership. This wasn't going to be them leading the construction and us telling them what we needed. This was going to be a partnership where they listen. And I think that Omni just cares about everybody in the building, not just the building.
When you walk into a room that is not climate controlled, in a middle school building, what you see is kids that are constantly wiping their brow of sweat. Omni has been one of the best companies that I've ever worked with, whether it was professionally or personally. We've been able to be part of all the decisions that have been made with Omni. They don't make decisions without, hey, we're thinking about this change. What do you guys think? How would it work with your building? It's just been a great partnership. They've been with us through beginning to end. The first day that I walked into the new classroom and I saw students learning in a fresh learning environment, I knew we won.
To be able to come in and redesign them, give them new plumbing and new gas lines, it feels safer for one. And we really made it so that the teachers could move tables around depending on what unit they were teaching at that time. It really became an interactive space.
And so looking at, okay, how do we then work with the various inputs, the various stakeholders, really listen to what they're trying to accomplish, also blend that with what we know from a construction standpoint and from an infrastructure standpoint. What are some of the things that would not confine us if they later wanted to make further enhancements? So as a matter of fact, one of the priorities that was shared is they had not had air conditioning in any of the spaces. And so the ability to provide air conditioning as well as improve the indoor air quality of their classrooms, that was a key priority. As we worked with Trane and we worked with Mitsubishi and looked at some ways that they could do that, we were able to come back to them and say, here's some ways that you can maximize the return on that investment and still have funds available for other things you want to do. So that was a key component of, I think, their decision-making process to say, here's how you can make these enhancements within the constraints of your building and your budget, but still meet some of those objectives that they had.
They really wanted to take that first set of money and enhance the educational value of not only the students, but the teachers' ability to teach. They are very proud to now go to other towns and say, oh, I was through your building. You should come to our building sometime and take a look.
The renovations have met the needs of all of our students, regardless of their career paths. We've got a shop area where so many of our hands-on learners are thriving. We've actually even renovating some of those spaces at our middle school. But then we've got for every other classroom, we've updated our science labs. We've updated our family and consumer science room. We've now got a STEM room for our engineering related kids. So regardless of the career path, whether that's a college path, whether that's a hands-on path, whether that's a trade or whatever workforce a student may have, we've got areas within our building that can really gear those students towards those paths. The thing that I personally wanted to see is classrooms that our teachers and students were simply just proud of. And now I remember our first day of school, kids walking through the hallways and seeing the building for the first time. And I probably heard it 10 times that day. Our school's awesome, or I'm really proud of what our school looks like,